よしかった。あ、よいしょ。よしかった。よしかった。Holy smokes, that's a beautiful bass, dude. Let's go. Oh my God. Well, that sucks. Gosh darn it. Just got them. No way. What the heck is going on? Really? Wow. I can't believe it came off. That's crazy. Maybe I'm just not letting him eat it long enough. Wow, that sucks. It's 2. I mean, it's getting smoked, but you guys can probably barely see it, but there's a bunch of like bluegill up here in the shallows, and that bass is up here chasing. Gosh darn it. All right, well, there's fish around, so it's the most important part. Bunch of bluegill or tilapia. That's what that looks like. Oh, that was a decent bass too. Shot out from underneath that grass. Oh my God, that was sick. That was so sick. On the G flag, let's go, baby. That was so nasty, dude. Okay, chill, buddy. All right. Boom. Look at that one. Dude, that fish came out of absolutely nowhere and smoked that G flag. That was badass, dude. Holy smokes. I saw a fish. I don't know if it was the same one, but he spooked out from the grass. So I just said, hold on, let me get it together. And then just got lucky. That fish came out of absolutely nowhere. Smoked the G flag. All right. Nice little bass this morning. Right there. G flag fish. Nice. Awesome. Okay. He is fired up. All right, okay. Thank you for playing. See you later. Dude, that was sick. So yeah, there's a bunch of little either tilapia or a little bluegill up here in these shallows, and the fish are just cruising these rocks, and so I'm basically just casting parallel down with that G flag, twitching it, ripping it, and I saw a fish come out from this grass patch right here. So I said, screw it, let me just kind of cast out and twitch it, and that fish came out of nowhere and smoked it. It's actually my first time fishing with the G flag, and I'm liking it so far. I think it's a perfect size for summertime fishing when the bluegill are on the smaller side. This thing swims and glides really well, but that's to be expected nowadays from Grow Design. So far, having a lot of fun with it. Another thing is that it's kind of the first like cloudy slash, there's a little bit of rain right now, but kind of the first cloudy day that we've had in the city. And so, you know, you got a combination of it being cloudy, a little bit of rain. You got bait fish shallow, and the fish are super active right now. So beautiful morning. I wish there was definitely more of these mornings here in Arizona, but oh, they're boiling down here. There's so many bass right now. We might have a field day, boys. I don't know. I mean, I'm 1 for 3. We could have almost a limit already if I was just a better bass fisherman. But yeah, this is my very first time fishing with the G flag. I've Seen so many guys catch a lot of fish using it. And so I was like, you know what? It's summertime. This should be like the time to really be fishing this bait. Just because obviously this time of year, there's a bunch of bluegill that are being eaten on. And this thing imitates the bluegill so well. It's not too big. So you can catch like these 1.5, 2 pounders, no problem. But make no mistake, I mean, some really big giant baskets absolutely smoke this thing. But as far as like a summertime, or maybe even like a spring, when they're feeding on like gills this size, I mean, this thing is, it looks incredible. Oh, there's a bass right there, and he didn't care for my bait. Yeah, summertime, like, is that bass busting or is that carp? If it's bass busting, my heart's pounding. This thing's got a really nice glide to it, really good twitches. Generally just a really good bait. Lifelike, small, compact. Currently I'm just fishing this thing stock. Right out of the package, I haven't added like any weight to it really. Just fishing it stock, trying to get a feel for it. And out of package, it's like a super slow float, which is nice. So just in case I snap it off or break it off on a fish and it comes back up, then cool, I can maybe actually go get it. Oh, you shot. Oh, let's go, baby, another one. Okay. Nice, a little bit better of a fish on that G-flag, boys. Let's go. Another one on that G-flag. Nice, pretty, healthy fish. Absolutely smashed it. Went back around. Boom. Nice fish. So dope. Been a really, really solid morning. Just a nice, beautiful, healthy fish. It's G-flag, man. Having a lot of fun with this bait today. So, all right. A nice, beautiful fish. All right, let's get this guy back. So I'd missed a bite on that point earlier, so I decided to give it a little bit of time and come back, and that fish absolutely smoked it that time. Let's go, baby. So right now I'm kind of mixing up my retrieve of like straight retrieve and then just throwing in some twitches. Straight retrieve, throwing in some twitches, and you're absolutely clobbering it. What's nice is that the water's pretty clear, so if they're maybe a little ways away from it or on the bottom, you'll see this thing going crazy, and they've been absolutely smashing it. I honestly didn't even expect this much action, so I didn't bring any mendit whatsoever. When it comes down to really any soft bait, whether it's just a normal swim bait that's soft, or in this case the G-flag, gotta have some type of mendit, so you can at least kind of salvage the bait, because obviously this thing gets torn up. The plastics. Oh my gosh, another one. Oh, that was sick, dude. Not a big one, but another bass. Let's go. Man, they are healthy. They are absolutely. Whoa. It's okay. All right, another one on the G-flag. That one smoked it right off that little grass point. Another nice, beautiful fish. Light coloration, a little bit of a belly on her. Man, this thing is just crushing them today. This does not happen a lot. This is probably the best day I've had on this specific pond in a very, very long time. So I'm stoked right now, boys. But it just comes down to timing, I guess. You know, it's like I said, the first kind of cloudy day. we've had. Dude's blind in one eye, but still got it. See you later, bud. First cloudy day that we've had in the wild, so. Man, that was so nasty, dude. This G-flag is getting clobbered, dude. All size fish, too. So yeah, as I was saying, you just want to have some type of mend it. And I'm an idiot, and I didn't bring any because I didn't think I would hook this many fish or get this thing beaten up so much. So I think this thing is starting to get absolutely throttled. But everything's still held up. You know, ooh, can you eat it? I mean, the bait's still holding up, joint's still good. I've got all the fins. This fin ripped a little, but so far, not bad. And I think I've caught 3. I've had like 2 or 3 other bites, so not bad. Oh my gosh, dude. Goodness gracious. That was ridiculous. All right, add another bite to that list. Wow, that was ridiculous. Okay, the second pond that we have come to is probably one of my, I don't know about favorite, because it's really, really hard to catch a fish here, but it's kind of the pond that I grew up fishing. Last summer, I was able to catch some fish here on the swimbait. It's still cloudy. We're gonna keep going with that G-flag just because there's a lot of bluegill in this pond and it gets a lot of grass. So basically, we're just gonna be covering water, trying to see if we can get another fish for today. If we can get one more from a different pond, you guys have no idea how stoked I'm gonna be. So let's get out there and start fishing. Okay, so this pond sucked, and kind of expect that from this pond at least, which is fine. Not every pond can just bite full speed, but we're gonna move on to the next pond. We're gonna head further south. Maybe this pond will have some fish. I don't know, the conditions are still okay, but it's definitely later in the morning now. I think it's like 10:30, and things have felt like they've kind of slowed down a little bit. It's not as low light as before, but we're fine. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna persevere. All we need is one more fish, and I would be very, very happy with this video. So let's get down to the next pond. Really not just clutch it right now? Fuck. Oh my god, I just got fucking... Yoshikatta! 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 Dekai zo! Majika! いい魚ですよね。やっべえ。やばい。やばいやばいやばい。 Oh my gosh, we actually did it, boys. We got another one. That was so nasty, dude. Dude, let's freaking go, boys. Oh, it's another one. Holy smokes, that's a beautiful bass, dude. Let's go. Another nice fish right there. So sick. I mean, this G-flag has absolutely been crushing them today. Urban pond fishing, one of my favorite ways to catch fish. Shore fishing, these urban spots are high pressure, but throwing this little bluegill imitating swim bait today has absolutely surprised me. Beautiful, beautiful bass. Let's get this guy out of here. All right, nice, beautiful fish. Super nice, clear water. See you later, bud. Nice fish. Just an incredible morning of throwing that G-flag in these small urban high pressured ponds, and it's just been working. I've had way more fun today than I thought I was going to have. Just truly stoked right now to be back here fishing the old urban spots. No, they're not Biwa quality fish, but I know for these urban spots that these fish that I'm catching are, you know, kind of run-of-the-mill, kind of like your average 1.5 2 pound fish, 2.5 pound fish, and I'll honestly take them, especially if I'm catching them on the cool ass G-flag that I am today. So awesome. We'll see you guys back at the house to do a little more breakdown of what we did today. All right, guys, that was the morning. It was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. Obviously, when I woke up this morning, I stepped outside and I was like, oh, it's actually cloudy. It has not been cloudy here in Arizona for a while, especially since coming back. It's been like 10 or 11 days now since I've been back, and it's been all sun. And so the first cloudy day, I was like, I've got to at least go pond fishing. And so went pond fishing, and this morning I was going through like some baits to bring. I was like, okay, obviously I want like a tiny clash. Let me bring a tiny joker. Let me bring like an Eden 7. And then I kind of looked over in some of this garbage over here, and I was like, oh, look at this. Let me bring one of these guys, the old Grow Designs G-Flag 150. I was like, it's summertime. These pond fish should be chewing tilapia and bluegill full speed. And that is exactly what happened today. And I'm very glad I ended up bringing this guy today, because this guy was absolutely the MVP today. And it was actually really fun to fish. Now, to be honest with you guys, I own a decent amount of flag stuff from like the 170 to the 255. But for some reason, I've never really fished them. I don't know. I felt like the soft glide bait was something that I didn't really put in my own arsenal as much as I probably should. Maybe because I had fears of some things that I wanted to kind of go over with this bait. Basically just the pros and cons to this bait. So let's just start with the cons and get those out of the way. The cons, obviously this is a bait that you just can't really get readily available. So today I was trying to be as careful as I possibly could to not tear the bait or basically completely destroy it to where I can't use it again. And obviously Grow Design has definitely gotten better with their durability, so these things will last a lot longer than what probably the previous versions would do. But still, in the back of my mind, I'm like, it's a soft glide bait, and I just got to be careful with it, and I kind of want it to last because I know it's going to be a fish catcher. But I'm not too mad that it, because I understand going into it what it is. It's a soft glide bait. It's supposed to get a lot of bites, big bites, and eventually it is just going to tear up, and it's not going to be able to be, it's not going to be usable. So going into that, I kind of always kind of stayed away from the soft glide baits, because I'm like, well, it kind of suck if I got really in tune with like a flag 255 and I was catching fish on it, and then it finally ripped or tore and I couldn't fix it, and then I don't know, like it would be hard to get a replacement. So kind of stayed away from them. But after fishing this thing today and seeing the reaction, I think there's actually a lot of play when it comes down to soft glide baits. Another con is obviously the price of these things. Now, I got this one specifically in Japan when I was over there like last year sometime, and I think I only paid $30 for these. So in Japan, they're relatively
fairly priced in Japan. However, once they're imported and people need to start getting their cuts and their shares, obviously the price goes up and it sucks. So the availability, the price can be pretty rough on these. Overall usability is fairly simple. A little bit of a learning curve for me. It was more like very light inputs with either the rod or the reel to get this thing to go. Sometimes it did not walk very well. Sometimes it walked incredibly well. So you kind of just have to play with it and understand, like, okay, it can really only do this, but it does this specific thing really, really well, and it looks really, really good. So far, those are basically the only cons that I have with the bait. The pros, I mean, lifelike, realistic looking. The swim on it is fantastic. I like that it's soft, so it collapses. Even like those smaller fish are able to put this whole entire thing in their mouths. Straight swim, the glide, the twitch. I really, really thought all of that was fantastic. They did think about it, like you can put some nail weights down here, so if you really wanted it to kind of sink down a little bit more. Today, I think after using it a bit, when I first started, it was a slow float. I think after a while of using it and getting it bit up, I think that plastic kind of absorbed a lot of the water, and it started to become like a super, super slow sink, which I think is fantastic. The hook, sticky sharp, didn't bend out on any of those fish. I like that you can have like a top hook rig on this thing as well if you wanted to fish it on a bottom, or if you're fishing around some really snaggy stuff. Just overall, I'm very, very impressed with the G-Flag 150. I mean, this thing is absolutely money, and I'm really, really excited to keep fishing this thing. Not just at the urban spots, but really any of my bodies of water where the main forage is bluegill, and that's basically this time of year. So awesome, awesome bait. I wish, though, they made it in like a 200 size. I think that would be so sick. Like a 200 or a 210 size would be so money for the G-Flag. Grow Designs, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, please make a bigger G-Flag. That thing would be so, so sick to fish. So yeah, that's the Grow Designs G-Flag. I've talked about it all day. You guys are sick and tired of me talking about it. So we're done. I'm going to be talking about the setup that I was using today. Just the Lowdown Customs. This is the standard issue model rod. It's 7'9", medium heavy. It's the 1 to 4 ounce rating, and it's ferruled, so I can just take this thing apart, store it super easy, throw it in the truck like I was doing earlier. Overall, just a fantastic, fantastic rod. I like this rod. It's lightweight, sensitive, but it's got a good backbone, so when you lean into one of those fish, you actually keep that thing pinned. Though I did dump quite a few fish today. I don't know if that was because the size of fish, which I'm going to just assume the size of fish that were attacking it just weren't getting it right. Obviously, the better quality fish, I was getting them hooked just fine. So it could just be a weird thing that the fish were just too small. But other than that, I mean, I really did enjoy this setup. The reel, the classic Bantam from Shimano with 16-pound Seagar R18, which is basically Tatsu, but R18, really nice stuff. I like the diameter. That 16-pound is light. You can definitely probably go down to like a 14-pound and really get this bait to swim really good. But I felt like the 16-pound was just fine, especially for the other baits I was fishing. 16-pound with that thin diameter gets these baits to fish more appropriately than if you're fishing it on 20 or 25-pound, because then the line really starts to weigh down these smaller baits like that. So that's the setup. Basically, yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's pond fishing mission. We'll be back once again with another upload soon. And other than that, thank you guys ever so much for watching, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Johnny.